welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo.
So, Iceman checking in.
Dang, you got your voice completely back now.
Is it?
It feels like it.
Well, thank you.
My voice still is like a little raspy. I guess you guys get to hear a little raspy sexiness for
it's very sexy.
This episode and maybe another episode. But
guys love a raspy chick voice.
I actually I was watching a Marriage Story and what's the other one? Jojo Rabbit over the break.
Oh yeah, ScarJo's got that.
And ScarJo has that raspiness, and I'm like, man, I always wished my voice could sound a little bit like that, and then it did.
You know who had that?
Because of bronchitis.
You know who had that better than any chick who ever did it? Is Mel Gibson in the movie Payback.
I've never seen that movie.
The whole movie,
he sounds like a raspy chick voice.
He's like, yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get my revenge. I'm gonna get my $35,000.
I don't know if I like when guys have it.
Oh, I love it.
You do?
Guys or
you
girls.
like that grittiness?
I do. I love it.
Yeah.
And then Christian Slater did it during the movie Broken Arrow.
Yeah. I didn't see that movie either.
He was going for it.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I didn't see that movie either. I've always liked it in girls. I always thought it was really cute.
It's cute.
I just can never get. I don't have that kind of vocal fry. I think that's what it's called, vocal fry.
I see.
I wish that I did sometimes, but it's cool that I have a full voice.
It sounded cool. We get it. You have a sexy voice.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Happy New Year, everybody.
But Happy New Year. This probably won't. I mean, we put out episodes already in the new year.
This is our 95th episode.
I don't know. Mark, what episode is this?
94.
This is our 94th episode.
We're closing in on 100.
Our sound producer, Mark, got us a Christmas gift, a dope-ass Christmas gift of this Scotch, Glenlivet 12 Scotch. And so we decided maybe we'll give some advice today on whiskey.
Mark, is that a fair title for you? Sound producer?
Sure, let's go with that.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Nailed it.
You want me to make you sound cooler?
I wanted to.
The king of our podcast, Mark.
No, what? He can't be the king. I'm the king.
The prince of our podcast.
Thank you, prince of our podcast. Perfect.
Okay with that.
Perfect.
All right, sick. All right, I'm
All right.
pouring.
Nikki is currently, for those of you listening, Nikki is currently pouring the Glenlivet.
I have a really sexy voice while I'm pouring this too.
Yes, it's very sexy. And then I'm pouring Nikki's because apparently this is like sake.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
We're doing this shit neat,
Very. Oh yeah.
No ice cubes?
That's
All
how
right.
I do it.
straight up.
Straight up.
Cheers.
Beautiful. So smooth.
Ooh, this is good.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Very smooth.
good job, Mark.
Very
Actually,
select choice.
I don't think I've had Glenlivet. This is really good.
It's excellent.
I love this.
Love Glenlivet.
All right, back to you guys. So we have gotten so many questions from you since the last time we did a Q&A, which is awesome. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and I'm glad you care enough about the advice that we give that you would trust us to give you advice.
And thank you for your brief questions, I hope.
Yeah, I hope too. Again, we are not experts, but we're going to try our best with you. I tried to pick, I picked a handful of questions. I haven't read them yet, but I did it based off of the subject line, and I tried to vary it so it's not just us telling people to break up.
Understood.
Yeah.
This will not be a completely breakup episode, but
if you ask us if you should break up, we're going to tell you to break up.
That's what we do around here.
We might tell some people that today, but I tried to vary it between work stuff and mental health, and I don't know, you'll see. Maybe I did a good job. Maybe
we should get our advice ? You should break up t-shirt in the new year. That should
just break up.
Right.
All right, you ready for question one?
Let's go.
All right, the first one is a relationship question. The subject is, why am I never content in my relationships? Okay. Hi, guys. I've watched one episode of your podcast, and it was so eye-opening, I had to send a question. Why don't you watch all the other ones?
Yeah, what the
We're
hell?
on episode 95.
What an insult.
95. 94 episodes you need to catch up on.
What a
Go.
diss. Our first diss of the new year.
This was actually sent in November because it's been that long since we've answered questions.
Wow.
So maybe she has watched or listened to the podcast since then. I will give you benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
I've been in 3 relationships in my life, and I'm still in my 3rd. I've noticed a pattern throughout all my relationships where after the first 6 months of dating, I no longer want to have sex or show my boyfriend affection. I begin doubting my relationship and start to look for flaws in my partner. I've been with my current boyfriend for 2 years. He is so good to me, has a great career, and would make an amazing husband in the future, but why don't I feel content? Our relationship has only grown stronger since we began dating. I want to be the type of girlfriend who loves to show off their boyfriend and shower him with love, but I never want to do it. I've loved everything about him when we first started dating, but I start to wonder if there's something better out there for me. I tend to think this way in all of my past relationships, and I'm not sure what to do. I broke up with my ex because I didn't feel content, but I've ended up in the same spot with my current boyfriend. Please help. Thank you, Anonymous.
Very brief. Nice.
Yes.
Man, this is a toughie, man.
I think you should break up.
You should break up. Nice.
Just got that out of the way.
That was actually easy.
That was pretty easy. Thank you.
This is tough because we don't know the circumstances of your relationship, so we don't know how to say, like, yo, this is a problem that you have and not a problem that you have with picking dudes or whatever.
Right. And also, we don't know how much self-discovery you've done, because sometimes if you haven't really completely figured your own self out and what you actually like and things that actually make you happy, you tend to just go with the first guy that falls in your lap or the first partner that shows you affection or looks good on paper. You know, you say, he's good to you, he has a good career, would make an amazing husband. These are all just like aspects of somebody, but it doesn't mean that they're a good romantic match for you. So
yeah, if you're losing the sizzle, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that you're doing.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because there's a lack of passion, it's not the right person for you, or if you are kind of one of those FOMO people who think there's like always going to be something better out there. So,
or if you're one of those people who always looks in the past and regrets past decisions instead of just living in the present. That's another toughie.
Right.
So there's a couple of questions
like
that I
you
wish...
don't want to make the same mistake so much that you're like making the same mistake again.
Yes.
Because you're overthinking it. I personally used to think that after 6 months to a year, the sex just isn't as good. Like it just, you have that spark when you first get together, and then after a year or so, it's like whatever. And then like I heard from so many married couples like, oh yeah, you don't have sex anymore, and I totally could see that because I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I guess I'm normal then for not wanting to have sex that much after a year, but I don't think that's how it works anymore. Like, I don't think that's how it should work. I think that's something that we've conditioned to feel like is normal because we've heard from so many married couples that's so normal. We've been married for 30 years. We never fuck. That's not cool.
And then we want it to be normal,
yeah,
too. You know what I mean?
Because we don't want to lose the partner and we don't want to lose the time investment that we invested into that relationship.
There's a lot of those.
So we do a lot of like washing over certain things just to you feel like that's
it'll be fine.
It's normal.
We'll figure it out later.
It's everyone goes through this. Relationships are work. People don't like having sex after a while. But I'm telling you, if there's enough going into the relationship, if you are with the right person and they're fulfilling you in ways and they're meeting all your needs and they're what's that word, like invigorating you or inspiring you?
Yeah, they're meeting you in the middle. They're lifting you up, stimulating.
They're stimulating you. If they're stimulating you, I think that spark stays. Like we've been together almost 7 years now, and I am more sexually attracted to you than ever.
Same.
And I'm
way more sexually attracted to me than I was.
I mean, well, you are the Iceman now, so
and the Miracle Man. Like I got a lot to deal with here.
Right? How do you stop looking in the mirror every morning?
My hands are full.
Full of what?
Myself.
Oh, true.
No.
Yeah. So, what was I saying?
You're way more sexually attracted to me now.
Yeah, and I didn't think that was possible.
I am way more in love with you now than I was.
Same.
And when I look at our wedding photos, I'm like, that guy doesn't even love that girl compared to now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, our wedding vows were amazing, but I feel like we got 10 million times closer after we got married than we were before we were married. And I'm sad to say that's not the case for everyone I know. A lot of people that I know got married because that was just the next thing to do. That was the next step.
Unfortunately, a lot of people we know got married
to fix
something.
To fix
and it didn't fix it.
Right.
And then they don't know what to do.
So you gotta ask yourself, is this somebody that you would be willing to spend the rest of your life with? I know it sounds pretty extra or intense, but the point of you dating for this many years is eventually it leads to something else, right? Probably marriage, or if you don't believe in marriage, it leads to like you guys living together and forming a life together. Do you want to spend the rest of your life with this person? Could you picture that? Could you picture the type of sex you have now with this person for the rest of your life? Or
I was this same girl before you, I would believe that this is just how relationships are.
Totally.
And I did.
And I did too.
So that's why I want to just fire a warning shot about that. I don't think that that is a healthy way to look at relationships.
Sometimes I feel like we're assholes.
I know it sounds dickish.
I know I feel like an asshole because I feel like
Because we love each other.
Well, yeah, and if we had never would have found this, we could be giving completely different advice right now.
I did before. I did a show called Tough Talk where I gave the wrong advice about relationships constantly. I was like, relationships aren't always going to be a Disney movie and shit. And no, it's not a Disney movie, but it has gotten better. Whereas I thought that, yeah, sex slows down all that shit. And I was dead wrong.
And sometimes people are like, when we tell them things like this, they're like, well, you guys are a special case. Like, you guys have something special going on. I think our only special case is that we just didn't settle with the next relationship after our last relationship.
Yeah, and we figure out what the actual problem is in our relationship when we have it, and then we address it, and then we can heal the wound. When you don't heal the wound, your relationship stacks up into resentment land, and then everything they do annoys you.
You don't want to have sex.
You're just done with them, but you won't admit it because you won't sack up and just say it's over. Mm-hmm. Because you never address things. So that's what's frustrating.
We like to nip it in the bud.
Always.
That's my best advice to you is like, if there's any problems, go back to where the problem started, take those arrows out, and then any future problems, nip them in the bud right away.
Yeah, and
communication.
We seldom ever sleep angry with each other. We definitely have.
Yeah.
But we get it figured out like 24 hours no matter what.
Right. First thing in the morning if we didn't resolve it the night before.
I remember one time me and Nikki had it out big time, right? And I thought I was so in the right that the next morning, do you remember this shit?
You like mic dropped.
Oh my God. I dunked on Nikki. I was like, I leaned out. I was sitting on my computer and I heard Nikki in the kitchen. I leaned out because you can see her down the hallway. I leaned out and I smiled and I was like, are you ready to apologize? Oh my God. I've never seen a woman go from being groggy, tired, to being completely awake and ready to murder someone.
Livid. I was livid. Because I was so pissed at him and embarrassed because he made it, like, I cried in front of our friends and it was over something so stupid.
It was very stupid.
And he, it was a very stupid fight. But yeah, we ended up learning a lot about each other that day because
that was a huge breakthrough, actually.
Yeah.
And that was even just a year and a half ago, I think.
Like a year ago. Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't say it was like we had a big problem or anything. It was just something underlying that we didn't even recognize.
Right, because we had little bits and fights about this thing before we didn't realize it was the same underlying problem.
Which is that I am an unemotional debater. And Nikki is
I take those
not,
as attacks.
And it sticks to her.
Yeah.
And so when we're debating the rules of a fucking board game, I'm just like unemotionally talking about it, and for me it's no bigs, right? And so in front of our friends I can do point counterpoint blah blah blah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound unemotional to me when you're doing it.
No doubt, but that's how I'm feeling, right? And so then but for Nikki it sticks to her, and then she emotionally
when you were switching things, like you were contradicting yourself, but then if I was pointing out you're contradicting yourself, you're like, it's not a big deal. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's not a big deal, but if you're gonna make those arguments, then
no doubt
you're contradicting. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, we ended up figuring out the root of the problem and going from there.
And from there, now I know that if there's a sticky situation like that,
if there's a sticky situation like that, I know to disarm instead of to do what I do normally with people and with friends. I just draw it down so that way it doesn't rile the emotions. Right.
That don't stick to me, but they stick to you.
We can recognize it sooner too. We can be like, oh, it's that thing again. So see,
we're not perfect, right? We that was a year ago.
But we have communication, which is great.
Extremely.
Which like helps us resolve.
But I dunked on you the next morning so hard. That was just unbelievable hubris.
Hubris. This is the second time you've used that word. That's all.
Since when?
Hubris. Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
You used it, and everyone made fun of it.
Well, it's contextually completely accurate.
All right, let's move on to the next question. So I hope we answered that. Just we don't have enough information. Not that we wanted you to ask a longer question or anything, but just look at those aspects and see which category you fall into, and then you can help determine whether that's someone that's for you, or maybe you should keep looking.
Or maybe you have a lot of hubris.
All right.
6-letter word. It's a
Next
big one.
question. The title of this one is, y'all still give advice? Yes. You're welcome.
Sorry, it's been since November.
Sorry. Well, I mean, the videos have been going up, but we haven't recorded them since November. Okay. So, hey, Nikki and Steve. I love you guys. Thank you for blessing my YouTube feed and entire life. I wish we were friends. Aw.
We
Thank
are
you.
friends.
Yes, we love you. So please disregard the last 2 emails I sent because the situation I'm in keeps evolving, but I still need help. It's been consuming my life for the majority of this year. I don't think I looked at the last 2 emails.
Nice.
I just picked randomly.
Hey, way to own it.
Okay. So sorry. I mean, we're friends.
We're really good friends
We're
out
really
here.
good friends. Long story short, I fell in love with one of my coworkers. Here's the plot twist. He dated another girl we work with, and we still have to see her face every day.
Oh.
Since we started dating in February this year, he keeps in contact with her. So this was last year. He keeps in contact with her. He's kept in contact with her. She would reply to his IG stories, and he would still go talk to her at her cubicle. I've been begging him to tell her that he has a girlfriend now, but he thought that if he told her about having a girlfriend, it would open up communication with her. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You still talk to her. And if anything, telling her you have a girlfriend should act like a verbal boundary and make her stop talking to you.
Correct.
So he agrees and tells her. The girl proceeds to say things like, it hurts to know I'm losing a good guy like you. I'll be okay, but slowly. And I knew I blew my chances with you.
That's boundary breaking.
Yeah. She clearly still has feelings for him, and I totally disagree with him still talking to her. Am I being
He's
crazy?
getting ego boosties from it.
Am I being crazy and controlling at this point? A little background on their history. She pursued him first. He confessed his feelings for her. She pulled back and didn't want to date him anymore. He got over her and started dating me. And she comes out of nowhere showing feelings for him all of a sudden. Please help me. I don't know what to think or do anymore.
He's getting his ego stroked.
Yes, you're in the right 100%.
You're 100% correct. He's
You're not
100%
crazy.
wrong.
And don't let him make you feel crazy for this. This is not being possessive.
Show him this video.
This is
Shame on
just-
you, sir.
Shame on you, sir.
You know what you're doing.
This is about respect.
That's right.
It's not about being possessive or controlling. You're not controlling him. He's going and disrespecting you.
Call your mama and let her compliment you.
You're uncomfortable. You guys are in a relationship. He should respect your boundaries.
You don't need some other chick to give you what your girl should be what is already giving you.
Exactly. It's just he wants his cake and eat it too.
Yes.
And guess what?
And then he gets to do the acting
Can't
dumb
have
thing.
it.
Like, what? Oh, I didn't know.
We were just talking.
That's crazy. She just thinks I'm just a great guy.
And I didn't want to upset her.
I don't know what to do.
And he's still talking to her? Hell no.
You eat spaghetti with your hands, right?
Is that the guy?
Yeah, he's just, he's playing dumb all the way.
He's playing so dumb. Yeah.
Come on, man. Is spaghetti a hat that I put on my head? No, dude. You know what you're doing.
Spaghetti is meant to be eaten with a fork.
It's an Italian dish.
Italian dish. You should respect the culture.
It is not apparel.
And you should respect your girlfriend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mic drop.
Stop making messes over there.
Glad we had one from our good friend. Okay. Next question. I just picked this one because the title was Love Your Podcast with an exclamation point.
I do love those.
Love your podcast. Thank you. Us too.
Wow.
Hi, Stephen.
It is
Nikki.
award season.
It is. If you care,
Just saying.
nominate us for something.
For something.
For something. We've never won anything, so
Be cool.
Hi, Stephen, Nikki. One of my friends is going through depression and feeling constantly lonely, and I can't support him in person because we are a distance away from each other. How do I tell him that he needs to try and take actionable steps? Because every time I try to help him find actionable steps or try to help him improve, he says he's going to do it and then doesn't change anything and comes back and complains to me about how lonely and sad and upset he is. We were really good friends in high school and he wasn't having any of these issues, but this issue has grown bigger and has been pushing us away from each other, and I've tried to communicate it with him, but he does not seem receptive to it. Is it just time to move on? Thanks. I honestly worry that I'm enabling him because my first response is to want to try to fix things. Maybe this is one of the situations where I should just try to enjoy our time together and not try to fix things when he has problems, but it is making it more difficult. Sincerely, JJ Meyer.
This is a long distance relationship?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
How long do we know?
How long of the distance?
Yeah.
It sounds like enough that they can't support, the friend can't support him in person.
Got it.
Yeah. So
yeah, he's not that into you, right? Or she's not that into you?
No, it's a friend.
Yeah, they're not that into the friendship.
Right. Okay. So it's not a relationship.
No, I know.
Okay.
But it's a long distance friendship is what I'm saying.
No. I think it's different. Maybe you misunderstood.
Please go ahead.
Okay. So the friend is sounds like he's kind of needy. Like he's going through depression. But also, it's kind of like something like always asks you for advice, and then you give them advice and you have big conversations with them, and then they go, yeah, you're right. And then they don't do those things, and then they come back and complain about the same thing.
Oh, right. Oh, God.
And listen, I don't know your friend's depression. Like there's many different types of depression. There's different stages of mental health and depression. This person should be seeing a therapist if putting himself in danger. You should not be the one to solve that. It's not, the burden should not fall on you. If anything, the advice I would give him is to go to therapy.
Unless therapy is too expensive, then it does fall on you. It is your responsibility, and you should be fixing it.
There are free clinics.
Or you can just go to a free clinic. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. There are programs that help people if that's too expensive for you. But I think that it's draining if someone keeps coming to you with the same problems and then doesn't seem to want to fix it.
Yes.
And I think I would just focus on enjoying your time together, like you said. I think that's not trying to solve it anymore because you've already done all you can to try to solve it.
Why did I say they're not that into you?
I don't know. I was like, maybe
I got confused.
this scotch is getting to you.
I had a sip of it.
I feel pretty buzzed.
Do you really?
I feel pretty buzzed so far.
I got nothing yet, but I have barely drinking.
That's too bad. Well, I've barely eaten today, so I think that...
that's me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. We're a couple.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. So I had some soba noodles.
I had some.
And so we ate the same thing in the same amount.
True.
And
okay, I see what you're saying, Nikki. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I've dealt with this before where people don't take advice because they don't know how to take it and then they just kind of go into a circle with the problem.
And I don't know if your friend is doing this, but I had an ex-friend now because I felt that their behavior became toxic. But she used to complain every day, like woe is me type of like and then this happened and my work sucks and my boyfriend sucks and I don't know if he loves me and like every day
to the point of exhaustion.
Yeah, and like store like books of texts.
Yes.
And we lived close to each other, but like still like books and books of texts. She would text at 2 a.m. about it, and then after the point of exhaustion, I was like, I've told you things multiple times. You seem to not do them, so like that's as much as I can do.
Very frustrating.
As much help as I can give
as a friend.
And then she would like start threatening to take her life and things like that. Like, this is so bad. And so then I would feel guilty not helping her more. So I would be up at 2 a.m. when she's texting me, trying to help her, and then she would just go the next morning. She'd be like, oh, whatever I said last night, I didn't mean it, like it's fine, like I was just kidding, like I don't mean it, like it wasn't that serious. And she would cover it up, and then a week goes by and she does the same thing again, like talking about how she's gonna swallow a bottle of pills and like all this stuff. And I was like, yo, you need to see a therapist, you need a professional.
It's out of my lane.
Exactly. I can't help you further. So if you tried. Yeah, you tried your best, and I think just when he starts bringing up the same issues again, just steer clear of them. Just say like, oh yeah, well, I mean, you know what I think.
Yeah. Some people's problems are too big, man. So like for one person to handle, we don't have all the answers, but I do think that they're not that into you. If that makes sense.
If one thing's for sure, they're not that into you.
Yeah.
You should break up.
I think that they should break up.
All right. Next one is, how do I let go? She says, sorry for the, or I don't know if it's to he or she, sorry. Sorry for the long message in advance, and I'd like to remain anonymous just because my name and the scenario would be a dead giveaway. It's not that long, actually, though. They think it's long, but it's actually not that long. Okay, so hi, Nikki and Steve. My boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years. We are in mid-20s, and recently he told me once he graduates, he's moving back to New Zealand for his family and to receive his master's there because the U.S. is expensive. We decided to end the relationship fully once the new year comes around so we can spend one last day together as a couple rather than end it around the summer when he graduates.
Wow, mature.
Yeah. No time is really the best time to end the relationship, but he expressed to me he's afraid that if we continue the relationship onto the summer, it'll be harder for him to say goodbye to me. I don't think it would be the right time for me to be selfish and ask to extend it into the summer when he has to say goodbye to his closest friends already. I don't know how to process and handle this sort of pain. He's my absolute best friend who I tell everything to. We contact each other every day. He's the person I go to for anything and everything. I know he's going through a tough time since he has to say goodbye to his friends and me. I think I became too dependent on him, and there's no time for me to slowly stop becoming dependent on him before we officially end things. How do I learn to just let it go? How do I get through this pain? I don't want to burden my friends when they have their own issues in life. That's so nice of you. I know this is part of life, but to me, as crazy as it sounds, since we were only together for 3 years, I really saw my future with him. We accepted each other's flaws and grew to love each other and became comfortable with each other. He was my home, and I dreamt of spending the rest of my life with him, and it shattered within minutes as he told me he's moving back to New Zealand. I got too ahead of myself. I think about the future a lot while he's the type to try to enjoy the present life. People are telling me to give myself time. I just don't know exactly how to cope. I feel like I'm mourning the death of a relationship. It's almost as if it's been erased from me. 3 years may not seem like a long time compared to others, but he was there for me during the toughest times and also my best times in life. To no longer have that special someone by your side, no more good morning texts, no more phone calls to see how your day has been, no more physical contact to
devastating.
hold his hand or kiss him. I'm so heartbroken.
What a sad story.
Advice will help, please and thank you. I'm like crying.
Nikki's got teary eyes.
This is so sad.
And I'm feeling for you.
Like, this is not just something light. I love that you're like so humble to like say,
Yes.
sorry, I don't want to be a burden, but like,
And
this
she's
is
like,
not
I'm so
light
sorry
at
my
all.
story is long. It's like, no, this is good. Good
like,
composure on it.
Oh my
too.
God. Like, I'm like, like when we
Wow.
were together for 3 years, I was so very much invested in love and like saw our whole future together. I would be absolutely shattered if he just moved to a different country.
Well, especially New Zealand. I would never.
That's like so far away.
I mean, if you've seen the California countryside, it's the same shit. As
it
New
actually
Zealand,
is.
quite frankly.
Yes.
New Zealand, you can keep it.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
they might tell you differently, but
They will, but,
I went there and I was like, this shit looks like San Luis Obispo. So
Thank you. And Slow is not far away from
Yes,
here,
it's
so
not.
I don't need to get on a plane. Thank you.
yeah.
So yeah, just maybe tell them about that, about the hoax about New Zealand being the most beautiful place on earth, and I think that'll probably help him make his decision.
I wonder if there's any way to salvage it, or if
I don't know what I mean. He's moving because
already
it's
decided.
expensive, right?
Right. So like, can she move there on a visa, or
Right.
can he move back here after he gets his degree?
This sounds worth pursuing, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. If it was mutual, if it wasn't just you being codependent on him and
Yeah.
like feeling like,
And he's like, well, baby, listen, it's over, okay?
yeah,
It's summertime. It's
I live in the
over."
moment. Yeah.
He's like fucking Danny Zuko in Greece.
Yeah. Right.
You know, he's cool as hell. I get it. But
Super cool.
he's like, I'm moving on, kid, okay? You need to, too.
Sounds like the Iceman.
Hey, look,
So
that's how I
cool.
deal with stuff. you know?
Right.
Very cool.
So, I feel like you are mourning the death of a relationship. You're mourning the loss of somebody very special to you.
And you're prolonging it. If anything, I would just close the door and be like, peace.
Wait, what do you mean
So you
prolonging
can start.
it?
No.
She's trying to close the door.
No. I'm saying that like they're talking about maybe summertime and shit, and I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, no,
I would just be done now.
She is saying that she doesn't think it's right for her to be selfish and extend it to the summer.
Right, but I guess there's some kind of like discussion about that or something.
Yeah, there was a discussion, but they decided together that it was easier for them to break up now.
So they're broken up now.
Yeah. Yeah.
At what cost?
I know. The
This
cost
sounds like
of
you
love.
found your person, maybe. I don't know.
It does sound like that. And 3 years is not a short period of time. I feel like the make or break it point is a year and a half. Most people
Yeah.
they're kind of on the fence at a year and a half.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
3 years that's a long time.
I just think that he needs to see California. And then he'll know that New Zealand's
No,
a
he
dump.
just says that the U.S. in general is expensive.
Oh, I see.
It's not. Yeah.
I see.
Not that
Well,
he thinks it's a dump
I will
here.
say Vegas is pretty cheap. I have some friends over there. And maybe it's worth looking at.
To get his master's in.
There's the Las Vegas University.
Right.
Very nice.
That whole what
They're
university
getting
is
the
that?
Raiders next year?
The university is?
No, the
That's
city.
just Las Vegas.
The city.
So maybe if he's a football fan, that'd be
You know what I'm saying? He
good
could
place
be a
to get
fan
your
of the
master's.
Raiders, maybe.
Huh?
Derek
Huh?
Carr, pretty cool guy.
Pretty cool guy.
Wears guy liner, stays on his face the
He
whole game.
doesn't wear guy liner. It just
That's what
looks
he
like
says,
it.
but
it really looks like it.
It looks like it, bro.
It definitely looks like he's wearing
He's the
eyeliner.
quarterback for the Raiders.
Man, I honestly don't know what to tell you because
I say pursue it. Pursue love at all costs.
but like, does it ruin your life to pursue it? You know, like I don't.
Right, true.
I don't want you to
Well,
leave
also-
behind your goals and aspirations just to chase a guy.
And are they meeting each other in the middle? Are they equally
Right?
into
Is it
each other?
reciprocated? Would it be reciprocated if you went? Oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking.
Because, dude, there's no way I could handle moving away from you, even if I had to financially or whatever.
I would go
figure
with
it
you.
out.
Exactly.
I'd figure it out.
Like if you booked a gig in New York or wherever, like I would go with you.
Yeah.
I would fucking hate it.
You would hate it. And
But
you
I would go.
You would be not that fun to be around, but you would go.
Well, I have my own, I pretty much stay at home all day anyway, but I just don't like being away that far
And you don't
from
like being
family.
cold. I couldn't
I don't
put
like
you
being
through
cold.
it. I couldn't put you through
I
it.
just very much like where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
But, and vice versa though, if I booked something and I had to, be on location for 2 months, like
As long as it's not in New Zealand, I think I'm pretty firm on that.
what if it was New Zealand?
I don't know, baby.
Please come. Please?
I was never into Lord of the Rings or any of that. So
Me neither.
it's hard for me to.
No, it would be
commit to
hard
that.
for me too.
Yeah.
We could bitch about it together.
Oh, that's fun. Okay,
yeah.
I'm into that. I'm
Okay,
into that.
cool. All right. Well, I hope you figure it out. I'm sorry we didn't have like much advice.
I think we
for
did
you.
give you some good
But
advice,
yeah,
actually.
to me,
if you
it's
listen.
worth pursuing. And normally we tell people to break up. We're
Hey,
quite the switch
hey,
up.
Cheers.
2020.
You know what I mean?
And on that note, we're about to take a break. We'll be right back. Shout out to our sponsor for this week's episode, Mack Weldon. Mack Weldon is a menswear fashion line. Steve is wearing them right now.
I'm wearing them top to bottom.
And what did you say about these pants when you
These
first bought
pants, okay, so Mack Weldon, thank you so much, real quick. These are the most comfortable pants I've ever worn in my life. I'm not even just saying that.
Yeah.
I swear that's
That's
true.
the first thing out of his mouth. I didn't even tell him what company it was from.
This is the most comfortable pair of pants
Yes.
I've ever worn.
These are the...
And that's Mack Weldon.
I forget what they're called. The Ace... I can't remember what they're called, but they're
Listen.
slacks, and they're so comfortable.
And they're stretchy, and
Yes.
they breathe, and they're pants.
Yeah, Mack Weldon is better than whatever you're wearing right now.
Seriously.
Facts.
Seriously.
Facts. And Mack Weldon is a premium men's essential brand that believes in smart design and premium fabrics, which is probably why it's so comfortable.
That's obvious.
Yeah. Mack Weldon will be the most comfortable underwear, socks, shirts, undershirts, hoodies, and sweatpants and more that you will ever wear. That is a guarantee they made, and I wasn't sure whether to believe them or not until we purchased these items.
I've only worn the pants and shirt so far, and so far, yeah, I think I'm in.
Yeah, well, they want you to be comfortable. So if you don't like your first pair of underwear, you can keep it, and they will still refund you, no questions asked. And not only does Mack Weldon's underwear, socks, shirts look good, they perform well too. So it's good for working out, going to work, going on dates, or just everyday life.
And you need your underwear to perform when you're on a date.
Yeah,
I will say.
it's so hard to shop for this guy too, because I'm like, what will he like aesthetically? Like, what will look good on him? But then he'll also think is comfortable
Yes.
enough to wear
Thank you.
on a daily basis.
Thank
and
you.
this, I think we hit the nail
You
on the
found
head.
it. You did it.
I did it.
Not a bit. I can't believe
It's not a bit. I know. I'm so excited for that. So what you do when you go on the website, like the personal experience that I've had going on the website and picking out clothes for you is it's super easy. They have it's all basics. So you pick a shirt, a top, a pair of slacks, sweatpants, underwear, etc. that you like, and then they have a variety of colors that are awesome to choose from. And for 20% off your first order, you can visit mackweldon.com and enter promo code STDTY. Again, that's mackweldon.com, promo code STDTY.
Let me just say something real quick. Can I take a moment?
Yes, go for it. Take a moment.
Guys listening, you know my pain of pants. Pants are frustrating. Pants are, they're uncomfortable. I don't like pants that much. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I'll
pants-
just say the extreme thing. I
yeah.
don't like pants that much. Mack Weldon has made me believe in pants again. And that was not an easy thing to do. Guys, you deserve a pair of comfortable pants. Go to Mack Weldon and just start with pants. You'll see. You'll be like, you know what, Steve Green? I trust Steve Green.
Yeah, I've honestly never
Because
heard you
he
talk about
trusted
any other
Mack
company
Weldon.
this way.
Thank you, I know.
Yeah.
Steve Green trusted Mack Weldon, and that trust has paid off in my life, is what you'll say.
That's right.
And I know that. You can take that to the bank.
Preach, brother.
Hey,
Preach.
listen, sister, I'm telling you.
All right.
I'm telling you right
Well,
now.
there you go. 20% off. Go to mackweldon.com. Promo code STDTY.
I will be buying
Amen.
stock in this company.
Amen. No, I believe it. This is the first company.
I can't believe how much I love
We
this.
have to end the spot, but I
look,
really like how enthusiastic you are.
You can't even see me, maybe. I got my leg up.
Yeah.
Feels like nothing.
Feels like nothing.
Feels like nothing's happening. I got my leg up right now. That's crazy to do in pants.
Go check it out.
Hashtag STDTY. Promo code
It's a code.
STDTY.
Yeah.
Use it and win.
All right. We are back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely sponsor. We love them.
We do.
Keep this anonymous, please, and thank you. Will do. Hey, Nikki and Steve. First off, I want to say that I love your guys' podcast and I love the advice you guys give. Thank you so much.
God,
I was not
thank
expecting
you.
that at all. Like, no,
Wow.
I feel like people don't say that
That's
very
so
often.
nice.
That's so sweet. Thank you. They're all really helpful, and listening to you guys give the advice makes it better and entertaining. Thank Thank you.
Thank you.
But anyways,
You're here for the vibe. Thank you.
yeah, you're here for the vibe. We welcome you. Anyway, my question to you guys is, have you guys ever felt any feelings of regret in cutting off a friend? Oh my gosh, we just talked
We
about
just talked about it. Oh, did you regret it?
I will talk about it.
Okay.
Let me just finish this question. So, any feelings of regret on cutting off a friend? I personally have cut off a lot of my friends in the past 3 years due to me realizing that the relationship was very one-sided or just toxic, and I am perfectly content with my decision on doing so since I can justify my actions. However, I recently saw a post with a few of them hanging out together, which rarely happens, and when it did, it was because I planned it. So I began to think of how things would be if I didn't cut them off and all that stuff. I end up feeling this type of guilt, if that's what you want to call it. Every time I see some type of post with my old friends together, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy with the friends I've kept and everything, but I don't know. I guess I might just be having FOMO. You guys probably haven't felt this way, but any advice to help me not feel this way or similar stories would help. Thank you so much.
Take the floor, Nikki.
Personally, the friends... Well, first of all, I never really had a lot of friends. So the friends I did have, I was very, very close
Cherished
to.
them.
I gave a lot of my energy to them because to me, that's what I look for in a friend is someone that's going to have my back and I'm going to have their back and we're both going to have each other's back super hard. So anyone that's in my little circle is very few people, but if they needed me at any hour of the day, I would be there for them.
Yes.
And so the friends that I let go were ones that I felt like they were taking advantage of that energy, like where I was giving and giving and giving and giving, and they were not reciprocating that, and I felt completely drained after every interaction with them to the point where I couldn't give my energy to other productive things. So when I cut them off, it was freeing. I absolutely felt like completely free and that like I could get all my other stuff done. It also opened the door for people that matched me and where I'm at in my life much better. So I feel like it very much enhanced my life. And if I ever did come across pictures of them, I really didn't miss it at all. But I don't think that's not natural to feel. I think that
FOMO is natural.
FOMO is totally natural. And I think like a breakup, when you see your partner that you broke up with, no matter how toxic the relationship, when you see them moving on and like living their best life, sometimes you remember the good memories you have of them and it washes out all of the bad stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, was I wrong to let that person go? Because like I remember this good memory of them and look at them in that picture. They look like the good memory.
It fucks with your reasoning.
Exactly. But just know that you're in a better place now, and I think you have all the right intuition about it, like instincts, because you say like, you know, I'm good with my call, I'm good with my decision. I think stick with that. I think those little aw moments, they're fleeting.
Stick with it and pour fucking concrete over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Double down on it.
Anytime you have an aw moment, like, oh, I missed that, remember all the terrible shit that happened.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I had a friend who was a girl, and we were friends for a long time. And she, one time, so we both went off to, like, I moved to LA and she moved. And then I asked her to send me friendly nudes, and they were friendly nudes. And she refused, and I refused to be friends with such a fucking bitch.
I thought you were going to tell an actual story.
That's a real story.
Because I know a friend that you had that you cut out.
No, that's
because they were kind of
yeah,
toxic.
because she wouldn't send me friendly nudes.
Do you ever regret that one friendship? Not the friendly nudes friendship.
What friendship?
The one that didn't show up to her friend's wedding.
Oh God, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that one's different, right? That one's not really a cutout thing. It's just sort of like a drifty thing.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Like I can't be like friends with somebody and have a wife. You know what I'm saying? I can't be friends with a chick who like we had like nothing ever happened with, but we were like close buds.
You had feelings for her at one point.
Right, at one point, and she had feelings for me at one point, but it never quite like timing wise happened. Yeah. And so I can't be in a friendship with an unrequited love, if that makes sense.
I love that. I very much appreciate
can't
that.
Happen.
But so are you saying if you were single, you would maybe be friends with her still?
I would immediately call her.
Oh, okay.
Immediately.
I thought that you guys weren't friends because of some character aspects that came out.
Well, there were things. I mean, I was kidding, of course, but there are things that yes, looking back now, not having feelings for them, you start to see flaws in them. But it wasn't stuff where I'm like, fuck that person. It's just stuff where it's like, it's all for the best.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the not talking to, it's not like I'm not talking to this person. If they were to call me, I'd be like, no way. It's just like it makes no sense to continue a friendship with an unrequited love. It's actually very bad for whatever relationship you're in to have something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then if we have an argument or something and I was to talk to this girl,
right.
It's like you have never had a relationship with this person.
Yeah.
So it's a flawless landscape.
Totally.
And then you have like, oh, we have a fresh wound on my side with my relationship. It's fucking bullshit stuff.
I agree with that.
Bullshit stuff that a lot of people do to each other that they shouldn't do, by the way.
I didn't take that into consideration. How about the other friend you had that was like your best friend in high school?
Oh yeah,
guy.
that one's great. I'm glad that
ended.
Yeah.
Because it was toxic.
It was toxic, but I didn't know. You know, I'm a loyal ass bitch, right? So when I'm in the thick of it, I really am like, oh shit, like
you are a loyal ass bitch.
I'm a loyal ass bitch. I am. So in the thick of it, I don't really. I don't know. I make excuses for people. I do all kind of shit. Right?
Yeah.
But this guy's he was a lame ass man. He he's given me a lot of material over the years, but like somebody, I don't know. Look, this is the kind of person who had like a wall of weapons. Okay.
Like what kind of
I
weapons?
take this was very seriously.
Like ninja stars?
Yeah,
and
like
stuff?
the Lord of the Rings sword and shit.
Oh God.
He would wear a Lord of the Rings ring
Now
around
I'm
his
judging
neck.
you for being friends with that.
Tell me about it. This happens to me a lot. How many embarrassing friends have I had over the years?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I see
a lot.
I see a lot of good in people sometimes.
Yeah.
And the
that's so true.
And the level of embarrassing that they have
Sometimes
is
I'm
so
like,
high. It's sky high sometimes.
Why
Sky
did you
high.
pick that person?
Thank you. It can be sky high at times, and yet I still see the good in them, and so that's my ultimate.
You're a sweetie.
Only to certain people.
What a
Only to certain
sweetie.
people.
I know you normally don't like anyone, but then you pick like the randomest.
Oh my God.
I think sometimes I think you know what it is. You see an underdog aspect to them.
I do, for sure.
And I can
I
see
wanna
that
help
too.
them.
But then what happens? The ones that have been sour apples are the ones that like take that like you supporting them, and their ego gets like fucking inflated to the moon.
Yes.
And then you have to dial them back down. A notch. Yeah.
Yes. Because they get to, oh God, exactly. You build somebody up and then they go nuts and you're like, who are you now?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like you give a little bit of confidence to somebody and they take it all away.
Anyway, if you're FOMOing about an older group of friends you've let go, or a boyfriend or whatever, a girlfriend, whoever, if you cut ties with a person and they were for valid reasons and like that person was toxic and your life is much better now, FOMO is totally normal, but it's a fleeting feeling.
And if you have a friend with a weapon wall who wears a fedora hat out and thinks that women are going to think that he looks like Indiana Jones, run. Don't walk, run. Thank you.
Mic drop. All right, next. My best friend's girlfriend hates me and it's ruining our relationship. I'm excited. All right.
Best friend's girlfriend.
So my best friend's girlfriend.
This happens.
This does happen.
This happens.
And then it ruins your friendship. Okay. Hello, hi fellows, love you both. Are we both fellows?
I suppose. This is a fancy person writing
Thank
it.
you. My best friend Bob has been dating a girl for the past 4 years named Lisa. Names changed for anonymity.
Yeah, sure, we know.
Lisa and my friend have a very toxic relationship. They have nothing in common, many bumps in the road. She's incredibly possessive and jealous and hates me and my husband, who's been Bob's friend for the past 8 years. Lisa hates all of Bob's friends, doesn't let him hang out with us, etc. We have never been mean to Lisa, despite her resentment of us, and we always invited her out with all of us, and she always declined. The one time she did come out to go grocery shopping with us, she pretended like I was invisible and ignored me when I directly asked her stuff the entire night, and it was very awkward. The last year, they moved out about 2 hours away from us for work and moved in together for the first time despite all the awful things going on. The relationship got even worse and Bob has been miserable. Lisa thinks that I am sleeping with Bob, which is fucking insane, calls me a whore, thinks I'm flirting, and says terrible things about me. My husband and I have finally had enough.
This is Real Housewives.
And we aren't attempting to mend things with Lisa anymore. It's been 4 years too long. Bob refuses to stand up for us, lets Lisa walk all over him, and it's so frustrating watching your best friend be in an emotionally abusive relationship. I don't know what to do. I can't stand them anymore. I love Bob. He's my best friend, but I cannot deal with his and Lisa's relationship, and it's impossible for us to be friends without stress and involvement for Lisa. She's a terrible human being, threatens to kill herself if Bob leaves her, and their relationship is literally just a pile of shit. Bob refuses to break up with Lisa, maybe out of fear. I don't know. I can't do it anymore. Do I stop being friends with Bob? I mean, setting boundaries.
Hey, my girl, read your email again. This shit is fucking your life up.
Yeah.
Yes, you stop being friends with Bob.
If this is your best friend and they don't have your back, like, I don't care if it's to a relationship, a spouse or whatever. If Steve was making crazy accusations to my best friend, who was like, my best friend is amazing. I have zero trust issues.
Wait, your best friend's a whore.
Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not a whore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're not watching on video, I have been gesturing to Nikki this whole time. Everything she's saying is exactly dead on. Like you have to have your friends' backs, man.
Yeah.
If you don't have your friends' back, then it doesn't matter how cool they are hanging out playing ping pong.
Yeah.
Like, that's all shitty stuff. Who cares? Like, it's all about when your back is up against the wall and you need their help, aren't they going to have your back?
And it doesn't mean you have to go against your spouse just to defend the friend, because like there's been a couple times where I didn't like or like I was having issues with one of Steve's friends.
Sure.
And what Steve does, which I appreciate so much, is he hears me out. He doesn't like say, no, that's, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, my friend's the best or whatever. He hears me out, and then he gives very appropriate defenses for his friend, but he sticks up for his friend. And then if a new incident comes up where I'm like, what about that? Then he has some insight from my point of view, and he has some insight from the friend's point of view, but he sticks up for his friend. I've never had a time where I had an issue with one of Steve's friends, and Steve did not at least defend the friend.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, the issues were not like this. Like, this friend's calling you a whore
no,
and
they
shit.
weren't like this. No.
This stuff has,
But I'm
there's more
saying,
minutia.
even on minor issues, you're defending your friend. Like,
Right.
if it was insane shit, like, you know?
There's no way.
Like,
There's no way.
Right. Like, so, like,
You're on a team,
if I was
right?
calling your friend, like, a whore or whatever, like saying that they robbed someone or, you guys are fucking,
I would never be down with that.
Yeah, like you would stick up for your friend, and you would, like, to me.
Yes.
No
of
matter
course.
what.
Yes.
And to,
And
to
you
make
would
matters
expect
worse.
me to, as you have said. So that's what's crazy about this, is this person's not defending.
And it doesn't sound like they
Their
even
friend.
have a healthy relationship, though.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, too, like, I have to take into consideration that if Bob really is in an emotional, abusive relationship with Lisa, he might have been so beat down by Lisa over the 4 years. 4 years is a long time. And I've been in an emotionally abusive relationship, and I don't even know that girl anymore.
No doubt.
Because I got beat down so hard.
Yeah, Bob
that
has no confidence.
I had zero confidence, zero self-esteem. I questioned everything I did. I felt like I had no judgment anymore. Like, I couldn't make the right judgment calls anymore. I felt like anytime I tried to take a stance on something, I felt completely beat down and that, like, oh, I was wrong again. And you just kind of get in your head that you're always wrong. And, like, you get in this, like, apology, like, you're always just sorry for everything, and everything you do is, like, a burden.
And if they have a pretty killer weapon that works on you and they use it every time, like, hey, I'll kill myself, like what Nikki's friend did to her,
Yeah.
even though that was never on the table. Like, this person was using that to fuck with Nikki and to get her to respond to her. Because sometimes those paragraphs would be long, and the night would be long, and Nikki's like, I'm going to bed, and then she would come out with that kind of shit to get Nikki to respond. So it became a weapon, right?
Yeah.
And that sounds like, and I don't know anything about this particularly, but when it gets to that, it's out of your hands, man. It's above your pay grade. You can't deal with that kind of shit.
Yeah, that Bob is going to have to learn how to stick up for himself, or, like, get out of that emotionally abusive relationship somehow on his own before you guys can be friends. But maybe you setting boundaries will be like, you're not being an enabler anymore. You're like, yo, like, I'm sorry, we can't be friends with this. Like, we can't be friends right now.
Yeah, and I'm sure
Doors open if you ever leave Lisa, but, like, we can't be friends.
And I'm sure that there have been moments, but also remember to stick up for yourself too. Like, don't let somebody call you a whore.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that you did. I don't know anything. I'm just talking about in general to people out there who are listening to this who may be going through something similar. Don't just sit there while somebody calls you something like that. Like, stick up for yourself and your loved ones, and then figure out what to do after. It usually has to do with completely fucking being petty and nuking them out of your life.
Mm-hmm. Burn that bridge.
Yeah. And yeah, sure, it
Take a
sounds
big fat
petty.
match
It's not very religious sounding, I know. Forgiveness and all. But
You can forgive and not forget.
exactly.
I think that forgiveness is very good. Like, it's good to forgive, but that doesn't mean you have to continually have this toxic relationship in your life.
I'll forgive later. I'm burning everything to the fucking ground first, and then I'm like, I forgive that smoldering ash pile.
Well, until you forgive, it only hurts you. So that's what I've learned.
That's your process. Mine is I have a pile of ash in my hands that was my friend, and I blow them.
Isn't that forgiving?
Huh?
Is that forgiving?
No, I'm blowing them into the winds, and then I'm like, I forgive you,
Oh, so you do it forgive eventually
you son of a bitch.
after you burn them to the ground and blow their ashes. Okay, got it.
Blow their ashes away.
I think that's true for me too. At least the forgiveness part comes into place.
Yes.
Okay, confidence.
It's easy to forgive when you've won so hard. Go ahead.
Thank you. Confidence in my career is the next one. Hi, Nikki and Steve. I'm a 25-year-old lady, and I'm a graphic designer, and I've been doing this type of work for 7 years now. I truly love my work with all my heart, and I recently accepted a teaching position and enjoy teaching about this field of work and encourage students' success. I also love to freelance. I would shout out my Insta, but I'm scared, which is what I want advice on. I love my work, and I always get great feedback from my bosses and clients, but why do I feel so insecure? I constantly question my abilities, especially now that I teach. I am always second-guessing what I'm doing, and I feel so low in my confidence. I know I'm doing well, but why do I feel so inadequate? Have either of you struggled with confidence in general? I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, the way you two love each other makes my heart so happy and reminds me of my husband and I. Oh,
that's
yay. Cute. Love, your biggest anonymous fan. Seriously, I watched every old school Tipsy Bartender video you were in, Nikki. Oh,
I wasn't in
wow.
those, so can we move on,
That
please?
was a long time ago.
Can we move on
I'm
for that?
accepting all of these compliments. Thank you.
I would like to move on.
Thank you. Hey, yes, absolutely I've experienced this. And you have, my friend, what's called imposter syndrome. You should, there's many books and videos on this, and I think they would really help you. Look up imposter syndrome and just get some help on it.
What is
because
imposter syndrome?
It's
Help me.
when you feel like a fraud.
Yes.
No matter, even if you're qualified and you logically know you're qualified, you just feel like a fraud
It's
because
you're
like
self-deprecating or self-effacing a little bit.
a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's also just like.
But maybe that makes
wait,
you good at your work as well.
For me, it was like I have a picture of someone who's successful in this field of what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
And even no matter how qualified I get, how could it be me in this picture?
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's no way that I'm that good,
That's
you
what-
know?
yeah.
And so I start to question everything. Even if I am qualified, I start to question everything. And then what really makes matters like worse, what like really like fucks with my head is that I'll see people who I feel are less qualified than me, like not as good, get jobs that I felt underqualified for. And that's when I'm like, wait, no, I am qualified because they're like not as good and they're getting that job. And it really fucks with me because, and I think it might be something to do with perfectionism too, where like I just have a really high standard for what I believe is quality, and I never quite think I get there.
No doubt. And
Yeah.
I've been in writers' rooms with big name comedians that you've absolutely heard of, and to hear them be not confident, like they pitch a joke and they're like, no, that sucks, and they look down at the ground and they're like, hold on, like let's try. Like you just realize the more you're around the quote unquote special people, the more human they all are, and the less special everybody is.
Yeah.
As a result, right? So I don't view anyone as special
And
anymore.
it almost gets worse sometimes if you're that type of person, because once like the public or your peer group or whatever put you on a pedestal, like, you're so, like
It's
for
harder.
comedians, it's like, you're so fucking funny, man. Everything you do is gold. You're up here.
Yeah.
Now there's this standard that
gotta beat
you're
that.
like, you feel like you're expected to uphold, and you constantly second guess yourself thinking you might not be upholding this standard that everyone's set for you.
Yeah, so once you realize that, and also, man, we were at this movie screening. It was for that Ben Affleck movie, Gone Girl.
Yeah.
And Fincher was there. Mm-hmm. He directed it. And hearing Fincher, okay, this guy couldn't be more accomplished, award-winning, etc. We all watched that movie together, and I think he was in the audience too. And then he's up on stage doing a Q&A, and he tore his movie to fucking shreds. We all thought it was brilliant. We all loved it. He's like, why do I have Ben Affleck going to the fucking mailbox? Cut that shit.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing? Just cut that
He
shit.
still sees
You
scenes
fucking
that
idiot.
he could cut. Yeah.
Right. So he's sitting there doing that. Nobody is special, man. everybody goes through this kind of shit. And once you realize that it's not your problem, it's everyone's problem, then you know
Except
that
for
you're on their
delusional
level
people.
too.
I always feel jealous of delusional people
True.
who like, I guess during their childhood, their parents just told them everything they did was great, like constantly. And so they'll do the shittiest work and they think they're fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And it drives me insane because I'm like, that must be such a happy life to have, but also like, how could you be so delusional? But then I feel like people treat you the way that you think you should be treated, right? And so then they'll like fool people with that because
No
they're
doubt.
so confident in their skills, even though it's like not that good. It's crazy, man. Like, just fucking fuck it. You're on this earth so long. You're like this little minuscule amount of time. Just like believe in yourself.
And that's all delusional people prove, by the way.
Yeah.
They believe in themselves and they win with it.
Yes.
So you can do that too. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be delusional about it. Just believe in yourself. Because you should look around you and see peers. You shouldn't look around you and see heroes or legends or all this bullshit that people do that keeps them from doing what they dream of.
Also, send us your stuff because I'm looking for a couple of graphic designers right now.
I need a graphic designer, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Send us your stuff.
And are you good at taking out the garbage? Because I need a garbage taker out of
No,
as
we're
well.
not doing that right now.
I need a garbage.
No.
Can she also take out
you take out the garbage.
Fine.
That is your job.
Okay. But the bag's all stuck
Nope.
inside the can.
Figure it out. All right, next question. How to break up. We talk a lot about you breaking up, but we don't really cover how to break up.
Oh,
so let's
yeah. Okay, we should know how to do this.
Okay. Dear Nikki and Steve, hi. You guys have such a great podcast that has been very educational for me in terms of how to live life and dealing with reality. Oh my God, thank you
Thanks.
so much. I've been listening to a few of your Q&A episodes and figured that I should submit my question to see what your opinions are on this matter. I would like to remain anonymous. Okay, granted. I have been in a relationship for 5 years since freshman in college. Benjamin, quote unquote, is a great person, kind, caring, sweet, etc. Benjamin has been through the roughest and toughest points of my life with me, and I can't thank him enough for being by my side. However, we are currently in LDR, long distance relationship, and I have met someone that I feel like I really like. Ooh. The feeling I have about this new person is so different. Benjamin is more of a quiet guy, and he has little opinions on a lot of things. I constantly have to make decisions for him, and it's burning me out. New guy, on the other hand, is independent, has his own opinions and input to things I have to say, which I really appreciate because I feel like it stimulates me mentally. Aside from that, I feel like we really clicked when we talked. I feel like I'm emotionally cheating and it makes me icky inside every time I think of myself. Therefore, I feel like I have to break up before anything progresses. I understand that's very selfish of me. It's not, but we'll get to that.
You're fine.
I guess my real question is, how do you even break up with someone who you have been with for so long and has done nothing wrong against you? I still love him, but as someone I sincerely care about, but not romantically, I don't want to hurt him, but I know that I will, and I'm afraid that he won't be able to handle it. Best, Anonymous needs help. Wait, is it Anonymous? Whatever.
Yeah, that's what she said. Hey, Anonymous.
Yeah.
Aren't you hurting yourself staying with this person? Because it sure sounds like it.
Can I tell you, I went through this exact experience. Well, not exact, because I didn't meet a new guy yet, but 5 years relationship.
Yeah.
Good guy, understood me. I think that meant a lot to me, was that he was the first guy that really understood me completely, and I felt like when I went to him with emotions, like he could kind of like talk me down and like had the right things to say. But then I didn't feel any chemistry, romantic attraction, like things that I know that I should be giving to the relationship or feeling in the relationship. I didn't have them. I tried to force them. I tried to go to therapy for them, and they just weren't there. And then I realized I was getting more mentally stimulated by people around me, not one specific person, but just conversations with people in my acting school. Like, I realized that I dreaded going home because I loved being out around other people so much.
I went through that too.
And I felt very bad about it. I felt completely icky. The couple times I did have some little sparks of of something with other people. Not like I flirted with them or anything, but like I got my headshots taken by this photographer, and we had such good conversation, and he was funny and stuff, and he had his own business, and he was inspiring. We got to talk a lot, and I felt a little spark of something.
I don't like this. Can we move?
I don't even remember that guy's name, but I just remember the feeling of feeling like, oh no, I should feel this about my boyfriend.
That guy's an asshole. I don't like that guy. I don't like the photographer.
Sorry, I don't like him either.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
But yeah, I felt like, why don't I feel this about my boyfriend?
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
I mean, that's everything.
It's such an icky
That's
feeling
everything.
to have, and I totally get that. And so the how is really hard and sad because you just have to rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And that was the hardest part because there was nothing that he did wrong.
Yeah.
And I felt terrible. And I also felt like I was leading him on the way that I broke up with him, even though I told him that we need to move out, like, because we were living together at the time. So I was like, you need to move back to Santa Barbara if you can't figure out a place to live here in LA. Because there was really nothing for him in LA. He moved here for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I just was like, I know that we haven't had sex in months, and you've noticed that we've been getting more distant, and it's not fair to you anymore. I put it that way because it's true. Like, it's not fair to him for me to continue acting like I'm a good girlfriend when I'm not. Like, I can't give the romantic aspect of the relationship, which was such a big part of a relationship. And I knew he was going to try to propose to me soon.
Yeah.
And the thought of marrying him made my insides cringe. Like, that's not what it should feel like when you feel like someone's going to propose to you. And so, like, the thought of spending my life with him is what made me break up with him.
For sure.
Because I was like, there's no way I could spend the rest of my life with this guy. It makes me feel miserable thinking of that. Like, just a dullness, like this dull feeling. And so, yeah, I just said, we need to break up. I don't know what you're gonna do about your living situation. I'm gonna try to find a cheap studio. I like moved out on my own. Like, it was really hard too because I was on unemployment and I had to find an apartment.
Good job.
But I knew that I had to do that. I didn't want to, feel like I was using him for helping pay rent or anything, any of that stuff. So I don't think it's selfish to break up with him. If anything, I think that's selfless to like set someone free.
I say go greatest hits. Hey, we need to talk, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good opener. And then this isn't working for me.
And he probably feels it too.
If he doesn't, you still got to roll with it, right?
Yeah.
So then another thing, I know I have a friend who's going through this right now, and they have created almost a numb character that they're playing, and it is helping them get through all of these conversations because the person wants to revisit things and like try to workshop their relationship, but this person's already moved on. And so the numb character, which I've done before, helps you just as a delivery system for your message. And it's like, they start crying all that stuff, and you can't, you can be a human being about it, but you don't do the normal thing that you do where you're like all over it and like, let's fix this and I'm so sorry. Because then that's when you start to take them back or you start to go against your wishes.
You just have to cut it off.
Yes.
Because I felt bad. I did kind of do that when I felt lonely. Like I was cutting it off. I moved out. I got my own place. But then I felt lonely in this new place because I'd never lived alone before. And he was my best friend because I'm always like best friends with the people I'm in a relationship with. And so I definitely like invited him over for my birthday and for like New Year's, and like I feel bad that I did that because I never intended to get back together, but I felt lonely, so I wanted
I got dumped, same shit, and my ex was you, and she threw herself at me as soon as I started dating this other chick.
Oh, that didn't happen. I didn't throw myself at him.
I got chucked at, dude. It was like 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
He was trying to get back together, and I was like, no, and then I was like, okay, I guess you could come over for my birthday because I felt lonely.
She walked in on me while I was with this chick. We were sleeping in my bed.
Yeah.
She broke into my place.
That's insane.
And walked in on me and then started crying in my living room.
That's crazy.
Like, you got to get the fuck out of here.
That's some crazy shit.
Yes.
I was not hurt. Don't you dare tell me I was hurt.
You're very similar.
Hell no.
Very similar.
Hell the
very similar
fucking
story.
no. Zero similarities.
Almost 100%
there.
the same.
There was one other thing.
It's like White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen. Two different movies, I guess, but the same story.
How dare you But if you want that situation to happen, I could break up with you right now, and I can just like show up in your new place screaming and crying.
It's a hot role play.
Just so you can experience
hot role play.
what similarity actually feels like.
We should workshop this.
Okay, we'll workshop it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd say let him go. I mean, I know it's sad. I know you're going to hurt him, but rip that Band-Aid off. You need someone that's mentally stimulating. I realize that I can't live without that. No matter what he did, this guy was great on paper. He was wonderful. I wish him nothing but the best. He's actually married now, I think. I don't really keep up with him, but
He's pretty dull.
But well, for me, I mean,
just kidding,
For
guys.
other people, yeah,
I'm just being a shit.
it just his interest didn't stimulate me.
Yeah.
And he didn't have very many interests at that time.
Well, Hurley, the surf shop, I think was an interest.
No, I don't think so.
Well, he looked like it.
Right,
He should have got interested in it. Maybe.
Honestly, it's just because he worked at a surf shop. But he
that's
wasn't
why.
even a surfer or
I
into
didn't
it.
even know that. That's how I nailed that
It was
stereotype.
because we're both from Santa Barbara, and so
Yeah.
like if you don't have any qualifications, like you're probably gonna work at a surf shop.
Yeah, I got it.
And so like he didn't surf or anything, but he worked there.
Well, he
and
sure
stuff.
looked it.
Yeah, everyone from Santa Barbara looked like a surfer at that time.
That's true. Your dad looks like he works at a surf shop.
Right.
Too.
Well, he was a surfer.
True.
But he's a CPA.
I
Yeah.
knew that.
All right. Well, that is actually all the time we have for today. But thank you so much for all your questions. We have so many questions, but I try to pick a variety each time, and I will try to get to all of them and stuff. But it really helped that these were enough information, but still like concise.
Distilled.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
We love that. We appreciate
But
you.
not to complain about them, but I do think that in the new year you guys can do better on your fake names. Okay, Bob and Lisa, and the last one was Beethoven.
Benjamin.
Come on,
Beethoven.
man. You can do better out there with those fake names.
And I think her pseudonym is Janet. It was best Janet needs help, but I said anonymous. But
Snooze. Give me some.
give us some juicy names.
You know what I'm saying?
Get creative.
Let me visualize this person that you're creating for me. Okay.
Yes,
That's
please.
all.
And make sure to compliment
A
us.
minor complaint.
Make sure to compliment
Thank
us in
you.
the first sentence.
It
Or we
helps.
will just skip it.
It helps so
Because
much.
we need our self-esteem, our egos boosted.
We do.
Because we are very
Self-deprecating.
hard on our each other, and we're very self-deprecating,
Yes.
and we do not praise each other. So, well, I mean,
I praise
Yeah,
you.
you praise me. But yeah, we do.
You don't praise me.
I've gotten better at it. I've gotten better.
We're It's fine. It's not a complaint.
Anyway, I've met my match. I love him.
Yes, she's the best.
And break up with everybody out there listening. Break up.
Hey, turn to your significant other and break up.
Just break up. Thank you.
And we wish you farewell.
We wish you the best. We love you. Subscribe. Make sure to rate us on iTunes and all of that stuff. And if you want to check out our
helps so
Patreon,
much.
if you want to check out our Patreon, we have an extra episode every single month, and we do like little bonus podcast episodes that aren't shit they don't tell you, but they're called We Just Woke Up, and
You can wake up with us.
We did podcasts while we just woke up,
Yes.
so you get to hang with us when our brains haven't turned on yet.
And you can come to our live show. It's
That's
very
true.
Fun.
It's really fun,
Very,
actually.
very fun.
Check out
Good
the
group
links in the
over there. And we have a
description.
good group of Discord. Check out our Discord.
That's true. I actually freaking love our Patreon
They're the
community.
best.
They're the absolute best. So I will see you. Talk to you then. When? Did I say when? The
You
next
did not.
time. You know what? I had a glass of scotch, and we're done. We're done.
It's not even a glass of scotch. You had not even an inch of scotch.
We gotta go.
You had like a centimeter
Oh,
of
my
scotch.
agent is calling me, and I gotta go because I'm busy.
Nobody's calling you. I
hello?
can see it. You
Hello?
got a text, I think.
Tell them I'm busy.
There's nobody there.
Tell them if they're
She
not
doesn't have
gonna
an
put
agent. He
1,100
quit.
red jelly beans in my trailer, that should be in my writer.
He
and
angrily
if it's not,
quit.
then I gotta go. Listen, I gotta go. I'm doing.
And
a
then when
podcast,
he
I
quit,
gotta go.
Nikki took a call and she said it's her mom, and there was nobody there either.
Sorry, my agent is calling me, and now my manager's calling me, so it's a lot going on here. So
I think your mom's
gotta
calling
go.
me.
I got a lot of stuff to do, and but we love you and we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Here.
Podcast at Nikki.Limo if you have a question.
Oh, true.
Thank you.
Make it interesting. Thank you. Bye.